Hey everybody, welcome back to Divine Visionary Tarot. So, sorry about my throat chakra, but that is definitely what's going on here with you guys, Aquarius. So we're doing the mid-month check-in on my Aquarius babies. We are looking into, we got some general guidance for you, career and love. And as you can see, my throat chakra was definitely out of whack when we first started this video. And I think that is because, Aquarius, you definitely need to get in your alignment, okay? For your general guidance, we have the dragon coming up. That's all about, lighting your fire, standing in your power, standing up for yourself. And I think for a lot of you guys, things may be feeling a little bit boring or lackluster in your life. But I feel like, oh, I didn't even notice this. I see the wheel card here. So you could think of your chakras as a wheel. Literally, chakra means wheel in Sanskrit. So a lot of you guys are needing to get your chakras back in alignment. And how you know your chakras are out of alignment? Well, you don't focus, right? You don't have creative energy. You're not able to come up with new ideas. You may be dealing with a physical ailment, or you just might feel like all in your head and, ungrounded and not really able to focus on what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Your thoughts could be all over the place. You could be stuck, physically, mentally. Yeah, a lot. So I feel like that's what we're getting here, Aquarius. A lot of you guys could be going through a lot of alone time. You could feel very alone, like you don't have any friends or family or anybody, to be there for you. Like you're just an independent woman or man. You're just out here doing these things on your own. And, it could feel a little bit alone. It could definitely feel lonely. But I am sensing that when it comes to you, you need to stand up for yourself. You need to focus on you. And if that means starting over and getting a whole new set of friends, a whole new job, making some new hobbies, learning some new skills, just completely doing an entire 180 with your life, if that's what you feel like you need to do, Aquarius, then you can. It's never too late to, start over. It's never too late to make a different choice and do something different. I definitely feel like for a lot of you guys, you might be feeling like stuck, where you're not sure about the changes that you want to make, especially if you're in the energy of just feeling comfortable where you were. But I think that this new phase that you're about to enter, it's going to be really, really beautiful if you open yourself up to it. So my suggestion, Aquarius, as far as, general guidance, as far as what you should be doing, I would say try to, find a safe space for yourself. I don't care if that means, learning a new hobby, getting back into something that you used to do when you were a child, because I'm seeing a lot about childhood wounds and healing childhood wounds surrounding family. That was definitely coming up when it comes in terms of love, but we'll get there. But yeah, I would suggest that you really pour into you at this time. Do a lot of self-care. Go out. If you love to dance, go out and dance. Spend time with you. Really pour into yourself and give yourself the love that you deserve. Really nurture yourself. And if you have any kind of, things that you want to do, as far as, I just feel like a lot of you guys are very open, so go out, pour into your community. For some of you guys that are more, homebodies, if that's writing, if that's art, if that's music, if that's drawing, whatever way you really connect with yourself and you're able to find a safe space for yourself, I would suggest that you do that this time, Aquarius. I think that right now, Aquarius would be a great time to, pour into your passions, find new hobbies, find new skills, find new things that you love, that you want to do at this time, all right? So now we're getting into career. Okay, I do see the Queen Bee coming out. So for a lot of you guys, it's really time to go after that new business that you want to start. If you have, an idea and this is something that you've always dreamed of doing for yourself, I don't care, like I said, if it's something from a childhood that you've always dreamed about doing, I definitely suggest that you go after it right now, Aquarius. Right now is a really, really creative time for you, and you definitely can turn things in your favor with this wheel and this sun coming out. It's like, there are no blockages unless you create the blockage. Like everything is really open for you to have if you want it, Aquarius. So go after it. And for those of you that, do have your own business or are, working, it looks like you guys have finally come out of a period of, stress to where, you may have had to start over. You could have dealt with a lot of stressful situations in work, heartbreaking situations, things that, put you in, under a lot of chaos and a lot of stress, but you're finally in a place of being self-sufficient. You're finally enjoying the fruits of your labor, Aquarius. You're finally seeing the rewards, right? You're seeing how much the hard work that you put in actually worked. So I'm proud of you, Aquarius. I'm proud of you, Aquarius, for putting in the hard work, because it definitely looks like you're reaping the benefits, right? You're reaping the rewards of all the hard work and the labor that you put in that work. You've been working hard. You've been, signing them contracts. Because for a lot of you, I feel like, legal from this B, but I'm definitely getting worker B. Like, whatever it is that you do, you're very hardworking. You definitely get recognition, or if not, you will be getting recognition for your hard work, because you did what it takes and you didn't look for anybody else. You were self-sufficient. That's what I'm seeing here. You knew that if you had to do it alone, if you had to start over and do it by yourself, you would. You wasn't looking for any kind of, handout or for someone else to come do it for you. And so you will be reaping the rewards of that, Aquarius. So I'm really, really happy for you. As far as partnerships and business, is looking like your business partnerships are going to be great. As long as you're willing to compromise, as long as you're willing to be creative and be imaginative and think outside the box, and work alongside other people for a bigger picture and a greater good. Everything is not always going to be about you. Know that if you're working towards a bigger cause, that is going to require you to make compromise, and that is going to require you to see things from a higher perspective, Aquarius, and sometimes see where another person is coming from, so that you can get the best results that you're looking for. All right, so that is what I'm seeing as far as career. All right, and then lastly, we have love. So I am seeing bone out here. So like I said, a lot of you guys, what it is Aquarius, is that you need to heal those childhood wounds, right? Them things that you've buried deep inside of you from childhood that are still affecting you to this day, that are still bothering you. I do see the Hierophant out here. So maybe you guys grew up very religious, or in a household where certain things were strict when it comes to love, or maybe you didn't. And now you're realizing that you want something more spiritual. You want a love that is more deeply grounded and based in something from, from God or from a higher source or a higher power, however you believe in it. You want something more traditional and, spiritual in that way. And I'm seeing that, you want to build a legacy, right? With this Ten of Pentacles, you want to build something long term, but you're realizing that your spiritual path and your spiritual journey is going to be a big part of that, right? Going on that spiritual path and finding somebody that is aligned with you is going to be a big part of you getting the love that you're looking for, and building that generational wealth and that legacy. It's not just going to come from a random person, that you met like off the street. It's going to be something built on a solid foundation of spiritual values. And I'm seeing that, for a lot of you guys with this Eight of Wands, you feel like your love life has slowed down. And the reason that, this is happening is because they want you, your higher self or your guides or your ancestors, God, yourself, however you want to call it, is asking you, Aquarius, to slow down. You're being asked to slow down and really work on those childhood wounds and really work on those things that maybe kept you pigeonholed to a certain type of love that you were looking for, right? Maybe you need to expand your thought process and expand your mind when it comes to the type of person that you're looking for when it comes to love, because they may not be the typical. They may not have the physical attributes or the typical look that you're used to. They may not be your traditional type, but that doesn't mean that this person is not going to be good for you. So, you definitely have to keep an open mind when it comes to love and when it comes to the type of person that you're looking for. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm seeing here, Aquarius. When it comes to love, definitely focus on doing your childhood healing, doing your shadow work. Write it out if you have to. Write letters to your inner child, Aquarius. Tell your inner child everything that you needed to hear, that you didn't get to hear from your parent. If you had an absent parent, then that's definitely something that's affecting you. You need to work through those mother wounds. You need to work through those daddy issues and figure out how those things might be playing into the type of person that you're choosing to fall in love with. Because I see at your core, you want something that is rooted in a spiritual and foundational love of security and legacy, and like something that's actually built off of mutual love and kindness. You want a true partnership, and you may even want to, build some sort of business with the person that you're in a relationship with. So some of you guys here, Aquarius, you may have a business, or maybe coming to having a business with your partner, Aquarius. But either way, I'm seeing that it's going to require a lot of compromise, and it's going to require you to heal those wounds that you have surrounding your childhood and your family dynamic. and, you know, how your mother treated you, how your father treated you, or if they were absent. All those things are playing a factor into your love life. And, you know, you just have to be patient with yourself and be patient with other people, because compromise and you know, being willing to sort of let your inner child heal so that it can roam free will be the key. Because that childhood prince that you dreamed of, you can definitely have that happily ever after, Aquarius, but you have to believe in it. You have to reignite, you know, that belief. Talk to your inner child and heal those wounds so that you can start believing in that fairy tale life that you want for yourself in terms of love, because you can have it, all right? Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Yeah, some of you guys may have been dealing with feelings of, I would say maybe jealousy. I wouldn't necessarily call it envy, but just maybe feeling like you're seeing a lot of new people getting things, a lot of people getting new things, and you're wondering when that's going to be coming in for you and you're going to be getting your blessing. Well, transmute all of that energy. That's the point. When you feel those feelings, those emotions of jealousy or envy or why not me, transmute that energy into believing in your own fire, right? Into believing that you can have anything that you want, using, you know, the jealousy as really just symbolizing your own inner power, right? And knowing that, okay, if somebody else can have this and I can see it and it can stir up an emotion inside of me, then that means that I have the capability to do the work to get it just as much as they was able to do the work to get it. So just shifting your thought process about how you think about things would definitely help. When you feel those intense emotions and those intense feelings, just channeling that in a positive way as opposed to just lashing out of anger. So yeah, a lot of you guys could definitely do with a little, you know, a little twerk session. Like just release all that energy within your hips, like, you know, your sacral and your root chakra. Just get back into alignment with yourself, from your crown chakra flowing on down, okay, to your feet, to the core, the ground and earth. Even if you got to go outside and put your feet to the ground, okay? Like, even if you got to go out and literally plant your feet in nature, then that is what you have to do, okay? And lastly, one more message I was picking up on off of this compromise was, for a lot of you guys, you need to start going out to lunch with your coworkers, going out, hanging out with your business. You know, like if you at a business meeting or something and somebody sits next to you and y'all spark up a small conversation, make it good. Like, take it a little bit further. Start deepening your connections and your bonds with people beyond just surface level. Like, ask that person out to lunch. You know, see if there's a way that you can create a deeper connection with the people that you are working with, whether that's a coworker or a business associate, a colleague, a boss. However, just start to really authenticate and deepen those bonds, because I think that will really benefit you as far as your career and your finances, Aquarius. Okay, so that is what I have for you. And again, hope it helps. So yeah, Aquarius, I did want to also mention, because it did come up about you guys changing homes again, and I talked about this in the last message for you guys. So I'm really happy for you guys. Congratulations. Like I said, a lot of you guys are going to be moving homes, buying a new home. You could have just recently bought a new home. You're going to actually be starting to furnish and decorate your new home and really get into a place where it feels comfortable for you and it really matches your feng shui and your vibe. Because I do feel like, Aquarius, your home is really, really a piece of your stability. It's a piece of your peace. It's a piece of your, just where you really find a safe space, right? Your home is your safe space. And so for a lot of you guys, you're excited to start having a housewarming, or inviting people over and hosting guests and having different people. And, you know, I just feel like you guys give that sort of homey sort of vibe where you want to host, be a good host for your guests. So that'll be really, really awesome. I am seeing that for you guys. A lot of you guys should definitely start looking into Reiki, I would say, because Reiki would definitely be something awesome for you guys to get into as a new skill or hobby. I'm just seeing a lot about working with hands on these cards. So that's what's making me think that, you know, getting into Reiki or doing something that requires you to use your hands, even carrying some crystals and learning about crystals and using crystals within your day-to-day would also be great, I think. And yeah, with this compromise, I think the last thing that I was picking up on is that a lot of you guys need to start channeling your creative energy differently. Channeling your anger into creative energy, right? So transmuting energy, that's a lot what this is about. Learning how to transmute negative energy. So when you feel someone sending you negative energy or you're feeling angry, you can channel that through writing, right? Through physical movement, dancing, doing what I'm doing, making YouTube videos, making art, whether that's using your hands to actually draw, or you like to do it digitally, playing video games, but just learning how to transmute that negative energy, Aquarius, into positive energy will be great for you guys. So I hope this helps, Aquarius. Like I said, this was a mid-month check-in. I hope that you have a great rest of your June and it helps. And